He's Michael,
He's Reuben.
and this show is once again. I missed the best this time.
you missed simply. You missed the.
Normally,
best.
we at least get an imply the best, but that was just.
Do you want to run it again? Okay, rewind.
He's Michael,
He's Reuben.
and this show is.
Simply the best.
This show's also a bit loud,
As per usual.
and that was a very brief interlude by Earth, Wind, and Fire. After the love is gone, I nearly just about got to the chorus before we cut them off.
Yeah, sorry, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Also, how are you today?
I'm doing well on this wonderful Friday.
I was about to say Monday, and then I realized
I know.
it's not on Mondays. It's Friday.
I'm kind of enjoying the Friday vibes. Me and Reuben have started up at the gym this semester, and on the Friday morning gym, pre-STD gym.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to derail too much, but the acronym STD, you have your qualms.
Yeah,
with it.
I think it is dangerously close to sound like something else, which I won't go into. But if you have any listeners, any suggestions as to a better acronym or a better shorthand name for this show, then where can they find us? Where can they message in?
They can find us on @SimplyTheBestShow on Instagram. Message us. Let us know if you've got any better acronyms. I don't really know what other acronym you'd use, but maybe.
Yeah, or anything like a quick way we can refer to the show. Something less, too many syllables. Something less than 4 syllables.
Okay, we ready?
We're ready.
Let's do it. This week, our topic is holy things.
Interesting.
Interesting. We're not going to talk. Well, sometimes we give a little explanation. I think let's just send it.
Yeah, this one is best served with a side of mystery.
Drop them in the deep end.
Do you want to give us our first matchup of the day?
Okay, first matchup of today, of holy things, is bagels versus the Bible.
Ooh, now you get it. Now you get it. You see what we did there?
Now they're starting to get it.
Yeah.
Now they're starting to understand.
A holy bagel, a big hole in the middle, versus the very holy Bible.
The holiest of Bibles.
Do you want to talk about the bagel first? We'll start off. I feel like that's the lighter topic for today.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Bagels, we know them. We love them. But
We
do
do.
we know where they came from? Where did they come from, Reuben?
Well, I can tell you that. So the bagel, in case you didn't know, maybe there's someone out there listening who has never encountered bagel. I wouldn't want to. That's not a life I would want to be living.
This is an accessible show.
Big, not big actually. Small, if anything. Bread roll with a hole in it in the middle. So like donut, except bigger. The reason I say big is because it's bigger than a
Are
donut.
you really trying to explain the concept of a bagel?
It's like not only am I explaining the concept of bagel, is I'm doing like a really awful job at it.
It's a big but small donut of bread. That's
Yeah.
kind of, I mean, that is kind of accurate.
Yeah, with a hole in the middle. Crucially, is the important. It's like torus shaped, like hole in the middle ring. And it originated in the Jewish communities of Poland. I think it goes back to the 16th, 17th centuries. It's like this bread where you boil it and then you bake it. So as to not get like a soggy bottom or like a kind of doughy center, they just like stuck a hole in it when they boil it. And then the idea is it's like the cooking is evenly distributed throughout, which I think is a clever little innovation.
Yeah. And I think that does reflect in its taste. I feel like bagels are quite versatile. They're nice by themselves. They're nice toasted. You can have them with all kinds of toppings.
What's your
on.
favorite bagel combo?
It's got to be smoked salmon, cream cheese.
Oh yeah,
cucumber.
yeah. Every other day I see you with a smoked salmon bagel.
They're good, man. Smoked
Yeah.
salmon's good. I feel like smoked salmon's not particularly versatile, but I don't know. On toast, it feels like it's not ceremonious enough. Bagel is a step above
Mhm.
toast.
I'm thinking of, we both live quite near this cafe called Hey Brew. Of course, other cafes are available, I should say. I'm not promoting Hey Brew, but they do very nice bagel. I don't know if you've ever treated to yourself
I have
one, but
the hash brown avocado.
yeah,
As we're both non-meat eaters.
yeah,
The veggie options
veggie
there.
bagels.
Shout out Hebrew. Not
Yeah.
from BurnFM though. Just from
Yeah,
us.
just from us, a personal recommendation.
Michael Reuben.
Yeah, but I always try to like recreate the avocado and halloumi
Yeah.
at home. But then this is the thing. What my slight kind of criticism of the bagel
Okay.
is the ring-shaped design.
It's design.
It's novel, but how practical actually is that? I feel like the hole in the middle often gives me more grief than it does.
We see, I
Joy.
disagree. Because if you think back to eating that Hebrew bagel or any bagel where you have a kind of filling that can spill out, often when you have a sandwich, if you press down on the sandwich to kind of compress the fillings inside to make it easier to eat, then it all starts spilling out.
Yeah.
And I understand that does happen with bagels, but at least there's a bit of surface area within the middle where the avocado or cream cheese or whatever it is can kind of spill out into.
That's true, but then it just kind of falls out in the middle. That's my problem, is that I often want to make myself like a quite dense bagel that just stuff's falling out left, right, and center.
Well, that might be due to your craftsmanship.
That's true. My shoddy craftsmanship.
I also think if you had a non-holy bagel, we are kind of judging these things on how useful that hole is.
Yeah.
When you grip it, it's almost like a pizza. It has to have the crust. The crust is the worst part, but it has to have it to hold it.
That's true.
If you didn't have the hole, it would just be an oval. It would be an earth-shaped bread roll, boiled bread roll. It'd be too much bread. It'd be too much bread. I like the focus on the fillings that the bagel gives.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So I'm a big fan of bagels. I feel like when I was younger, they always had the New York Bagel Company was like the premium bagels.
What is this? Because I did not grow up in a bagel household. My mum is not a bagel person at all. So we like very rarely had bagels floating around the house. So this was kind of more of a uni discovery for me. What's the New York Bagel Company?
Well, they're like, the listeners will probably know what I mean. There's like, they're a bagel and they come in like a blue pack and not pack, but like plastic. And it has like the Statue of Liberty logo on it. And they make like premium bagels. If you were having a treat, you might get those bagels for the week.
They actually made in New York.
I don't know. Well, that's why I want to go and catch a flight and try out the New York Bagel Company in real life.
Yeah. Well, here's a New York bagel related fact. Is that bagels in New York are getting like exponential is a word that perhaps doesn't apply here. But they're getting bigger over time. There's like a size inflation on bagels. They started out like, I've got numbers here.
Bagel inflation.
But they started out on like 90 grams. The average bagel was 90 grams in the year 1915 in America. And in 2003, average bagel was 170 grams. So that's like,
well, I wonder
if
the bagel was introduced to the US around 1915, right?
Yeah.
From like Poland.
Yeah.
As you said. And then over time, Americans happened.
That's
and
true.
They just increased the
big
size.
portions. Yeah. And I don't know if that's accounting for like the filling of the bagel as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bagel fillings have got more lavish over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of bagels.
I'm a big fan of bagels.
Okay. Speaking of something I'm also a big fan of, not a super fan, not a stan, but I can enjoy some of the Holy Bible.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
This is another form of holy.
Of course, without the E.
Yeah, you have to kind of say it in a holy.
It's like when you talk about when God is mentioned in the Bible, it has like capital H.
Yeah.
Like that aura.
Holy with a capital H.
Is insane.
So I should say that neither of us are religious.
Yes.
But I think this has come up on the show before. I think we should probably do some work to make this show more religiously diverse, because I think we hit on Christianity quite a lot.
Well, see, this is what I was thinking when this bracket was proposed. You think about the Holy Bible. I don't know if holy is a word used in other religions. I think like it's specifically tied to the Bible, which is why I maybe didn't think of.
Yeah, but I think also we went to a school which was like reasonably Catholic. So I think that kind of.
Well, I don't know about Catholic. It was definitely Christian.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like proper Christian. They kind of just they did enough so they say they
got
could
the
have
whole
been
world in its hands type thing.
Yeah, harvest calypso.
Yeah,
type thing.
Say grace. Do you remember they used to make it say grace at lunch? But then on the rare occasion, you'd get to say rub-a-dub-dub, thanks for the grub instead. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I do remember that.
I don't know on what days it was allowed.
I think it was probably Fish and Chip Friday.
Yeah.
Rub-a-dub-dub. Thanks for the grub. The ultimate Christian verse.
But yeah, so the Bible, obviously, I'm not going to explain what the Bible. I think maybe there's someone listening who maybe doesn't know what a bagel is.
Has never been outside.
Has never encountered a Bible or a bagel. Obviously, it's the holy text of Christianity. It contains, in the Christian Bible at least, 66 books, which I thought was quite funny because that's sort of 1/6 off of something that you probably really wouldn't want there. the Catholic Bible is like kind of DLC to that almost, because it adds an additional 7 books. So you've got 73 books in total. Have you ever... So I got gifted like by...
Sorry, just to mention, you've written director's cut there.
That's what I thought. Like the bonus content. There's more biblical bonus content, which I will get to.
Is
in a
there?
bit.
Okay. Keep spitting.
But I was going to say, have you actually sat down? I don't know how much you've read. So I got gifted by a friend who's quite religious, a Bible over Christmas. And I've never actually sat down and read any of it. But I don't know if you have.
Well, unfortunately, in 2025, I had a few funerals to go to, and I did some of the readings from that. And I grew up singing in a church. Well, I didn't sing in a church, but my school, did church, like singing, choral singing.
Yeah.
And that was fun. But you got to know like some of the texts and stuff. Lord is my shepherd. Psalm 52. I don't know. Well, I don't know that well, clearly. But I don't know. I'm fairly familiar with a lot of the stories, because they would do, if we ever did a service where we were singing, they would read out some verses. They would like
Mars, as it were.
They would talk about some of the stories in the Bible, and that was So I'm vaguely familiar with the boys.
Yeah, with the boys, of course, the infamous 12 disciples who like recurring characters on the show.
Yeah.
I guess that's a nice part of it, right? Is that like a lot of people can find solace in it, and then of course the flip side is that there are people who use it as like kind of motivation to do less nice things. So it's like pros and cons. The thing I was going to bring up from earlier is that I found this interesting. I was reading about this, and the kind of canonical Bible that we have now is not the one that has existed throughout history for many years. There's something called the Infancy Gospel of Thomas, which is kind of lost Bible media that used to be, I think, in some sects considered like canon material. But then it kind of got retconned, because it's like basically these like apocryphal tales about like Jesus growing up. Because that part kind of mainly that got like skipped. There's time skip.
That's true. He does go from baby to man in the span of like a few verses.
It's like the Dragon Ball Z kind of like time skip. But apparently, according to the Infancy Gospel, he was getting up to all kinds of stuff. Apparently there's a thing where some other kid, like some of his playmates, bump into him and he instantly smites them, which is crazy. So I
That's
think
mental.
I think, and he tames dragons as well at one point.
Okay,
which is amazing, but I think it doesn't portray the character of Jesus in a way which I think perhaps we would like to portray him, which is why it kind of...
That is interesting though, isn't it? Because I think there's a general view that Jesus is a character of he can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Right? And that is what he grows up to become, obviously. But it's interesting that I'd never heard of these stories before.
Yeah.
Of his infancy. And I think that does give Jesus a bit of a character arc.
Yeah.
Because right now he's gone from innocent baby to innocent man. But he is murdered.
Yeah.
Innocent children along the way. But we all make mistakes. So I think, fair enough.
Crazy. This is a really tough matchup. I think what this comes down to, for me, is personal stake in the matter.
Yeah.
And like, it feels hard to make such a sweeping statement, but you have to remember that Simply the Best is ultimately our two voices.
Yes.
I think in my life personally, I'm adding a lot of qualifiers to this, but the bagel has done more for me personally, I think, is what I'm saying.
Yes, I would agree with you. I think, I respect the Bible.
Yeah, of course.
Big guys, SpongeBob, big guy, pants, okay.
Oh my gosh.
But I think personally, like you said, the bagel, I've eaten a lot more bagels than Bible verses I've read personally.
That's true.
Yeah.
And maybe one day I'll find that Bible that I got, maybe I'll find some comfort in having a look through that. But for now, I find comfort in chowing down on a nice bagel.
On a nice
and I'm okay with that for the time being.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay. So between the Bible and bagels. Bagels, you are.
Sampling the best.
That's a crazy early knockout for the Bible.
Wow.
That was a tough matchup.
That was a tough matchup for the Bible. You said before the show we didn't know which way this one was going to go.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, it comes down to personal stakes. Obviously, there was a big stake for Jesus,
Of course.
but not for us,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Okay, do you want to take us through matchup 2, or do you want me to
Yes.
do it?
I can do.
You've got it.
I've got it.
You've got it up. He's got it up.
Step aside. We have Holes, the movie/book by, God, I don't know who it's by. I know
Anthony Horowitz. No, I've just made that up.
it stars in the movie Shia LaBeouf.
True. Louis Sachar. Don't know how to say his name, but there we
You
go.
probably mispronounced both first name and second name there.
He's really not written very much else other than Holes.
Yeah, I was going to get into that in a bit, but we have Holes versus Swiss cheese, of course, absolutely full of holes. So Holes, the movie/book. This was
Is paper inside paper with ink on it.
in case you've never encountered, but yeah, this was. Would you say young adult or kind of kids book? I don't know. Maybe fall somewhere in between.
Yeah, maybe old child.
Old child, big small bagels, old young children.
Young adult. I would go young adult.
But basically, I don't know. Do you want to run through the plot? Or
Yeah. So this Donnie, Stanley Yelnats, which, as you'll notice, Stanley Yelnats, of course, is his name backwards as his last name, which is just genius.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think he's just like a naughty kid or whatever.
Well, he gets like kind of framed, doesn't he? Like,
yes.
It's like he gets accused of stealing trainers that he didn't actually steal.
And then he gets sent to do almost community service.
Camp Green Lake.
Oh my god, you
I
done your
remember this.
research.
This was like, we studied this in school, and this was like this was an all-timer for
Yeah.
me.
And he's basically life sentence. Like, he's chalked. And so they get there, and then they just dig holes. That's all they do.
Yeah.
And he's there with a bunch of other juvenile delinquents.
Yeah.
And
It's like Camp Green Lake is quite misleading because it's very much not green or lake. It's like
there's
just
no
like
water.
the Arizona desert.
And they're like thirsty, and it's not great. It's
Yeah.
not a great situation. But over the course of the book, he does find a way out. So yeah, it's a really good book.
It's a really good book. I remember it being really funny as well.
Yeah.
And it's one of the, I just don't know. It's like, I appreciate a story of quality, but I appreciate a quality story even more when it's something that is like written for kids.
Yeah.
And I think it's really nice because I don't remember it very well, but it kind of touches on poverty quite a lot, like class differences and racism and stuff. It's a very funny and like whimsical book at the same time.
I think it treats the reader as like an intelligent person.
Yeah.
And I think good kid stories always do that.
Definitely. It's like that thing of when you're a kid, you read a book and you get like, you encounter something. It's like, oh, I don't really know if I should be kind of hearing about this. And it's quite an exciting thing.
Yeah, I remember really enjoying the book. I think also it was one of those books that I still remember. I have watched the film, but I remember the images in my head from reading the book more than I remember the movie, because it was such like a vivid book in terms of its explanations and stuff. So
that's interesting. You missed it before, the Louis, I don't know which one it is, but he hasn't written loads, I don't think. And one of the things he did write is this other book, Small Steps, which I had as a Holes obsessed child, this sequel to Holes. And it's a weird book. It's like not very good, to be honest. It's about, I don't know if you remember this, there's like one of the other juvenile delinquents in the book is this kid called Armpit. And it's like about him and his life after Camp Green Lake. And he has this like kind of romantic affair with like a pop star, and it's all a bit weird. And it's just one of those things where I remember finishing.
Get me out of here.
Yeah, I remember finishing reading it, and I just thought, I don't know what I've just read, and I don't know why that was a story that needed to be told.
So the opposite of Holes.
Very much the opposite of Holes.
Right.
Which in my head kind of puts a damper on Holes, but I really love Holes also. So
yeah, it's really good. It's interesting, one hit wonder from Mr. Louis.
If that is his name.
But it was a wonder.
It was
a big wonder. And yeah, good memories of learning about it in school, which is not, I don't have a lot of good memories about learning about books in school.
And in spectacles.
Okay, I did actually really like that book.
That was a
A
banger.
Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Okay, going up against Holds in this round is Swiss cheese. Now,
If you don't know what cheese is,
take milk and let it sit for ages.
the result will shock you.
Swiss cheese specifically, you might not be familiar with the denomination of cheese. It's the cheese that has a bunch of holes in it.
Yeah, you will be visually familiar with this cheese
Mm.
because it like gets kind of used as visual shorthand for cheese. Like when when you're watching like a cartoon or something,
Mm.
if there's ever cheese on display,
Yeah.
it's always
Yeah.
Swiss cheese.
You go
And
back to like the cave drawings.
Yeah.
It would have like, if there was ever cheese on display, there'd be holes in that.
But do you have any guesses as to why that might be?
Well, I think it's because if you just drew regular cheese, it would just be a cube or like a
Yeah, cube,
triangle
yeah.
with no defining characteristics.
Yeah.
So like in cartoons when they draw milk, like they write milk on the bottle
Yeah.
loads of times because it's like otherwise.
It's just a white bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're very much right. As far as I can find, that is the reason.
So Swiss cheese plays an important visual role in
Mhm.
the role of cheese.
Yeah.
Um,
Roll with cheese.
in society.
The other thing I was looking at, for all of these things, I was kind of looking at like, why does it have holes in it? It's interesting actually. For Swiss cheese, we don't actually we're not sure, which is a crazy thing to me because like we know about the Big Bang, we know like how loud the Big Bang was, but with Swiss cheese, we don't know. There's like competing explanations. One is that it's carbon dioxide bubbles as it ferments cheese,
Right.
and then the other like more recent modern interpretation,
The new theory.
yeah, the new gen view is that it's like little flecks of hay in the buckets, not microplastics, but like microparticles that kind of cause the holes.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the first theory is
I don't know.
more plausible.
I read that second one on the BBC,
Oh,
so
the big broadcasting corporation.
think about it.
Swiss cheese itself, I really like it. Got like a nice mild kind of taste,
Mhm.
not too intense. There's some blue cheese lovers out there.
No.
Shout out to you, but I don't.
I'm
like
not
blue
one of
cheese.
them.
Yeah, no, me neither. Big fan of Swiss cheese. The Swiss must have some kind of secret sauce because chocolate. They're
That's
a
true.
big proponent of chocolate. They make everything, and it's all really good. So I don't know. Maybe it's the micro particles of hay in the buckets of everything they make.
Or maybe it's just our old friend, carbon dioxide.
Hmm.
Carbon.
coffee tea. I don't know about it against holes.
Yeah, it's like Swiss cheese it's an icon, but I feel like if it was really that good, I would have eaten more Swiss cheese in my time. The other thing, of course, I've just thought of is the cheese touch in Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Ah,
That's Swiss cheese, isn't it? Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if you remember like the visual of the cheese,
Yeah.
like the holes in it.
I can't fault holes really.
Yeah.
It's great. Do you want to give us our conclusion?
So between Swiss cheese and holes, the movie/book Swiss cheese, you are.
Simply the best.
All right. What do we got next?
Up next is belts versus the letter O.
That's crazy aura coming in from the letter O. But
That was like, well, I
I-
felt the aura from 3 reels away.
I had to lean back. Let's give belts their fair shot.
Yeah, they're fair tightening. Belts, you know 'em, you love them. They keep things up.
Faucet.
Obviously, Holey in the fact that they have holes going all the way around. Well,
Yeah.
not all the way around. We'll get there.
Mm.
How old were you when you first started wearing belts? Because my belt wearing is a relatively recent thing. I
Same.
think.
I was a late adopter of the belt because I guess you're not really dealing with belts when you're a kid because everything kind of just has like that slightly elasticated
Yeah.
waist where you can just like put it on.
Yeah.
And then I think it was probably like end of sixth form kind of time. You're starting to think a lot more about how you look.
Mm.
And there is, I think, like men's fashion, there is a nice kind of aura to a nice belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. When you've got the buckle in the right place,
Yeah.
and you're just like, you're feeling good in
Yeah.
your outfit.
What
And
about
of
you?
course, it helps. It takes a lot of clothes that maybe you couldn't wear and allows you to wear them. So I think
Yeah,
it's
because I
very-
feel like we're in the era of like baggy, wide-legged jeans now. Gone is the era of skinny jeans on men, which I think,
Thank goodness.
thank goodness.
You've written a Guinness World Record for the longest belt.
Yeah, I saw this. I was reading up. I'm like, what is the longest belt? Guinness World Record is 252 meters of belt made by a guy, I think, in memory of his brother. And it took the hides of 3 cows, which is crazy.
That doesn't seem like that much. For
They-
252 meters of a belt. Actually, that's not that long, is it? No, it is. It is. Sorry. I was thinking 25 meters.
Yeah.
That's a long belt.
But then it's like, I don't know how thin the belt is. I don't know. Mate, I have to
Sure.
pull some pictures up of this belt. You kind of mentioned this earlier about the belt, of course, is a Holey thing where it has like holes for adjustment in. But my beef with the belt
Okay.
is that the holes just then stop. Why do the holes stop? For what reason?
I think because when you're wearing a belt, think about it. You said there's a nice aura to a belt.
Yeah.
And that's because when you do the holes, unless you're really overdoing the belt, generally there's not going to be that many holes past the buckle. So like the front of it looks really clean with no holes. I agree with you that
But it would be more practical. Then you'd have like a one-size-fits-all belt. If it was holes all the way around, then you could just like, your buddy was like,
do like a double belt.
yeah, or like just, you could like, you wouldn't need to buy a different size of belt. Every belt would fit everyone. Your friend was like, my trousers are falling down. You have a belt.
You whip yours off,
Yeah.
trousers fall down, but you're a good friend, so you
Yeah.
just give it to him.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it fits him no matter what.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. And I do have a belt that's like, I don't know, a certain size. And I'm right on the borderline of like that size.
Yeah.
So some days I'm like, yeah, this is all right. And then other
Some
days
days.
it's like, sub in, tag team, like, gat me up, sub in the other belt. We need that one.
And then I guess my other criticism with belts
Okay.
is the same realm as like tying my shoelaces, where I think if I didn't have to like buckle and unbuckle my belt every time, how much of my life would I have gotten back? You know?
Yeah, I understand that. But I also think there's a ritual to it. Like you said, there's an aura that comes with a nice belt. And that's because it takes the time.
That's true.
I wouldn't want to get rid of shoelaces. It's funny, like I wouldn't, even though like you said, it does take time. I don't think I'd want to get rid of them altogether.
Really? You wouldn't want to walk around in a plimsoll all day.
So man, that's a blast from the past. If I said to you, all of your clothes will magically fit and you don't need a belt for the rest of your life, all of your trousers and things, would you take that deal?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, there we go then. Okay, let's talk about its competitor before we write it off. The letter O.
The big O.
Strong aura coming from the letter O here.
Yeah.
Obviously, one of the big 5 vowels. Arguably, I mean, maybe third behind A and E.
Well, I've got the stats if you want. It's actually 4th. EA, most
It's in the game.
prominent. Then I, and then
Then you what?
O, and then U. So O's 4th
What is that in terms of how
frequency.
frequent it is? Interesting.
But I will say, in terms of my own personal biases towards them, I think O is a pretty darn good vowel.
It's solid, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a word by itself. I mean, as is A and I
And you.
and you.
Not you.
Not either. You.
Not since about 2017.
That
at least.
picture. Markiplier is Lord Farquaad. You talked about trying to find why these things have holes. Where does the hole in the letter O come from?
The hole in the letter O actually comes from, as with a lot of our kind of modern day letters in the English alphabet, it comes from like hieroglyphs, Egyptian ones originally. And there was like an eyeball eye hieroglyph, which the Greeks were like, yeah, we like this one. We'll take it. Sold to the man in
the man in the toga.
And then obviously we kind of adopted that from there. But I just found it ironic how it was originally an I, but now there's a separate letter which is pronounced I, but it's very much not an I.
Or an O.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, the Egyptians were ahead of their time, weren't they?
Yeah.
Is it your favorite vowel, do you think?
It might be, actually, because I'm stacking up all the other vowels in my head, and I genuinely
A is
can't.
trying too hard. A and E are trying too hard.
Yeah.
I is too
Yeah.
thin.
Yeah.
And U is just irrelevant.
Yeah. I think it actually might be O.
Oh,
I think it actually might be O.
we're just glazing.
We're just glazing the O like it's a big donut. What I was gonna bring up is the word with the most O's in it relative to how many letters it has. Protozoology.
Wow.
Which
5
I
O's.
had a look at, and it is a study of like little single-celled organisms or something. I just wanted to give a shout out to this. So I googled that. I was not expecting to find a wealth of data on frequency of the letter O in words. This website, wordlucky.com, you can just search for anything like that, and they've just compiled like absolutely any property of like any word you could ever desire to find out about.
Wow.
They've got
Okay.
it. So,
Wordlucky.com.
Wordlucky.com. Shout out.
I think
it's pretty clear how we feel about O.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear how we feel about this matchup in general. It's time
Of the belt and the letter O. The letter O, you are.
Sampling the best.
It's such a good song, isn't it?
It is.
I just love it.
I'm worried that I'm becoming desensitized to it, but it is just a really good song.
Every time it plays, I just get a little smile on my face.
Tingle.
Whoa.
Okay, final matchup. Black holes, the astronomical phenomena, versus the colander, the kitchen phenomena.
I fear this may be weighted one way.
Well, of course, the black hole having such an incredible pull,
Oh.
it really is weighted one way. But let's give each their fair chance.
Mm.
So the black hole, I'm way out of my depth talking about like physics, but the star collapses, and then you have like a lot of gravity, a lot of mass, like concentrated into a really tiny area, and it just like sucks everything up, which is kind of crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, it's funny because when you first learn about black holes, I think like you think they're like this all powerful, but then when you start to actually think about it, I was talking with my physicist girlfriend the other day about black holes and her house, who are all physics students, and they were talking about the center of the universe is like centered around a massive black hole. But I'm thinking like the universe is expanding. We're kind of outpacing the black hole.
Yeah.
The way that they talk about black holes in primary school would make you think like we should be gone.
I was getting stressed. It's like when they tell you that like eventually the sun's going to kind of like consume the earth.
Yeah.
I was like checking my watch. I was like, I'm going to get out of here.
And it's when they tell you there's like 8 minutes for the sun's light to like reach the earth.
Yeah.
So we would like feel it before we like saw it. I'm a little bit disillusioned with black holes, but there's no denying the aura that comes with a black hole. And the fact that when a human goes in, we just get spaghettified.
Yeah, which is a funny word. And I love that it's like the official terminology.
Yeah, I love when official terminology is like whimsical like that. So good.
Would you know, well, I'm about to tell you. Do you know what would happen if I walked through the city of Birmingham, where we live, with a black hole the size of a coin in my pocket? Do you know what would happen?
What would happen?
Birmingham would get swallowed by a black hole.
How quickly?
Very quick, like within a fraction of a second.
Oh.
I think I watched a video about like black holes. It's like research. And I think if it was that small, it would just like kind of blow up. Just blow up. It would be crazy.
You just spawn in.
So
instantly blows up Birmingham.
I don't know if the council were thinking of using it as a means to like dispose of the rubbish on the streets at the moment.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Wait.
Whoa. So that's black holes.
Yeah. We know them. We love them.
We hate them. Well, we love them.
Yeah. We love them for now.
Yeah.
Until
don't get too close.
Yeah. Until they arrive.
Yeah.
Colanders.
Always said that.
As you said, a kitchen phenomena.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with colanders, because some people might not be,
Mm-hmm.
they're the kind of strainer device. I guess strainer is the other name for them. They have lots of little holes, and you pour in maybe pasta, rice, maybe not rice actually.
Yeah, rice. Depends on the size of the hole. You get like different colanders for different needs.
Anything that you cook in water, you pour that in there, drains all the water. It's pretty convenient.
Pretty convenient. Although I am a big proponent of just like, if you've got like pasta in the pot or something, then just kind of like slightly get a little edge for the water to get out from the lid and then just draining it that way. Because the thing with the colander is you ended up with like another item to wash up, which is...
This is true. I think my parents used colanders a lot growing up, but now I'm at university. I've become a bit disillusioned
Yeah.
with how useful the colander is.
Yeah. I struggled when I was looking at this to really come up with anything interesting to say about the colander. I did find it's a parody religion, I think that's the right way to describe it, called the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. And they call themselves Pastafarians. And there was a guy, a Pastafarian in a few years ago. I think the colander for them is like supposed to be like a religious head covering. And he got told he couldn't take his driver's license photo with the colander on his head. And he was like formally disputing that, or at least he wrote into the Independent about it.
I'm just seeing like the link that you put as your source here. Pastafarian fights for his right to wear a colander on his head in driving license photo. Wow.
And that is basically the only interesting thing I have to say about colanders. I think this is a pretty one-sided matchup,
I think so. Black holes, they're not great for Birmingham.
but they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I think the black hole has sucked up the competition of black holes and colanders. The black hole, you are
Sampling the best.
delightful.
Let's do it.
Let's look in.
A speed run.
Okay, so semi-finals.
The semi-finals. Round 1. No, round 2.
That's like the lightning round, but I was trying to recreate it.
Okay.
No, lightning round.
Okay. The humble bagel versus holes.
Woo. Okay,
Oh, this is a strong matchup.
this is a tricky one. I like both of these things. We both like both of these things a lot. Holes. I have a stat about holes having won 24 literary awards. I don't think the bagels won any literary awards, but surely at some point, I think the bagel deserves, if it hasn't received, some sort of accolade.
A dough award, a bakery award.
Yeah.
I'm a very big fan of bagels. I'll put that out there now. So I'm a little bit biased.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the quantity of bagels that have gotten through in our house, and there is basically never a day where I don't see like someone's got a bagel on the go, a bag of bagels on the go.
Yeah.
There's always bagels strewn about the place.
And holes, it had its time in the spotlight.
Yeah.
And I think it deserved the first round win. But bagels, the longevity, man.
Yeah, I think it's time for the new gen to rise up.
And
the
they
new
are,
gen, it's bagels.
I mean, they are unique. Like the boil bake method.
Yeah.
No, that's not used anywhere else.
What else gets boiled and baked?
But holes, it is another book at the end of the day.
This is true. Oh, it's sad. I don't want to say goodbye to Holes book/movie, but I feel like we have to.
Between the humble bagel and Holes movie/book. Bagels, you are.
Sampling the best.
I kind of sped around that.
Yeah.
Bagels, you are.
Zank.
Okay. The second semi-final for today is the letter O versus black holes.
Whoa! No, this is a tough one.
This is one of the strongest episodes I think we've ever had.
Yeah.
The Bible went out in the first round.
That's how you know it's bad. Where do you begin with either of these?
I think it comes down to the fact that the letter O has been used in maybe 4 or 5 of these topics.
That's true.
The letter O is in the word hole.
Yeah,
It's in the word black hole.
that's true. Holes, the movie. Yeah, colander. There's an O in there as well.
Black holes are cool.
Yeah.
This is true. But they're not the only cool thing in space. We've got supernovas.
That's true.
You know, we've got
Got-
nebulas.
The Millennium Falcon.
Wait, no, that's
What is that?
European Ambulance.org.
What are you going for?
I personally am leaning letter O.
Yeah, I think whereas the letter O giveth, it gives us so many good words. It gives us ooh, it gives us oh, it gives us
oh.
Yeah, it gives us that one as well. And many words that I can't even think of right now, but I'm sure exist. The black hole, as cool as it is, takes away.
Yeah. And that is quite sad.
Yeah.
I don't think we can have it winning this competition.
I don't think we can.
And if we don't see it winning, we can't put it in the final.
Do you want to look it in for me?
Between the letter O and black holes, the letter O, you are.
Sampling the best.
We
This
haven't
is-
had any imps running around the episode today.
No, we had a at the start. This is a generational final matchup.
This actually is. I think most of these would win in any other bracket.
Yeah.
But for now, the final, the bagel versus the letter O. And we don't have the letter O is not in the word bagel.
No.
There's
So
none of that here.
we can't even come up with some roundabout explanation.
I was thinking, okay, if you got rid of the bagel, you still have bread, you still have...
Yeah.
But the fact that the bagel has risen to compete with Bread Corp,
Yeah.
Bread Conglomerate, the Bread Group,
The You're in Good Company.
is unbelievable,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It is. It's like, it's an underdog story.
Of the highest degree.
Yeah. Whereas like, there's something to be said about the legacy of O as well.
You're right.
This is so tough.
This is really hard. I think I love bagels.
Mhm.
They've been around for 300, 400 years.
Yeah.
The letter O, they were probably, and it's not even just a letter, right? They were probably saying O before language was even invented, man.
Yeah.
Like, they probably killed a fish and were like, the cavemen, they were like, oh. Like, they probably said that. Like,
Yeah.
ugh. Like, oh.
Oh.
That was probably one of the first words invented, man.
Yeah. And of course, we have zero as well, which
Not quite the same thing, though.
no, but I imagine it's the same.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same origin story, right?
The fact that the letter O can be seen in almost all of these visually topics. The bagel
Yeah.
is a letter O, really,
Yeah.
at its core. And
When
I'm
you
going to
think about
start thinking about bagels
Yeah.
differently.
If I made a bagel company, and if I was in charge of the New York Bagel Company, and I was doing the logo design, I would take the O in York, and I would turn that into a bagel.
Yeah.
And I would immediately get promoted.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Give this
I
guy a
think-
raise.
I think we've made our decision. With a heavy heart, I must say, bagels, unfortunately, are going to have to settle for the silver medal today. Oh, that doesn't feel right, though.
No.
That doesn't feel right.
Wait.
The greatest underdog story ever told.
This is crazy.
The bagel feels like it should win.
I would go home with a heavy heart today I think I would genuinely go home with a heavy heart today if the bagel didn't win this. If I said the letter O right now, I would wake up in a cold sweat tonight knowing.
If I had a bagel in front of me right now, I'd devour it.
Yeah,
We'd make way without the letter O.
that's true. There's that book, isn't there, that like doesn't use the letter E or
Yeah.
something. So
Let's just do that.
there'd be ways around it. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I think the like most last minute switch
The
up
most dramatic ending to an episode of all time.
since 12 Angry Men Gate. Right. Do you want to lock it in for real this time?
Amongst the holiest of things, everything holy, and in the final against the letter O, bagels, you are...
Oh,
Wow.
that's it. It's over.
It's over, and I'm proud of them. I'm so proud of Bagel Man.
My boy.
My boy!
But the show isn't over just yet.
Of course, yes.
We're going to have a very speedy lightning round today. Let me cue up the jingle real quick.
Lightning round.
Custom jingle, of course.
Of course, by yours truly, Michael.
Okay, quickly, what's the prize?
The prize this week, I think I alluded to this last week. I've had a pack of polos on the go for a while. I've had like maybe a third of them, but there's a lot of polos in there, and I don't like polos
Okay,
that much. So
Okay.
if you want them, they're on the table.
right. Pack
So-
of polos on the line for the highest rated suggestion today.
I asked you, what are some good reasons to do things?
Shall I go through them? You rate them?
Okay.
Let's do it. So, from Noah, we've got do it for the love of the game.
That's a good one. I think that's a really good life philosophy in general. That's an instant 9 for me.
Philip says, do it because screw it. Why not?
That's another really good one. Not as good as Love of the Game. I don't know what you think. Like an 8.
Yeah. Kadak says, do something for the greater good.
This was
a good suggestion. This is a good.
bangers coming out.
Well done,
Do
people.
it for the greater good. I think 7.5 because I think sometimes if you can't always do things. Sometimes you do have to do things yourself.
Anvi says, do something for the good of society.
That's like similar boat as a greater
But
good,
worse.
but less like catchy as a phrase.
Yeah.
So like 6.5.
Sam Moore says, do it for the gag.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Do it for the bit.
Do it for the bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Anvi says, do it for love.
She put this one twice.
Wholesome.
Yeah,
Not very catchy though.
I'm going to give that. I'm about 6.
Do it for yourself.
Do it for yourself. DIY. Live DIY. TLC.
Direct character. PYT.
That's like it's important to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
7.
Do it for the hell of it. Oh, did I miss one? I missed one. Do it for charity.
Another one from Andy. Do it for charity. Good to do things for charity. I did bungee jump for charity.
Yeah.
That was very fun.
Ooh.
I can have 7.9 repeating, of course.
Do it for the hell of it.
That's there's another one that's like screw it, why not?
Yeah.
That's like an 8.
And we came up with do it for the Vine.
Do it for the Vine. But, I mean, we can't win, so
We can't win, so we can have it redacted.
but that's a good one. That doesn't get a score.
Yeah.
I think the winner there then was Noah with the very first suggestion. Do it for the love of the game.
Wow, he wins a half-eaten pack of polos. He's going to love that.
He is going to love that. I know Noah, and
He's going to be bouncing up and down on that
he's going to
chair
be bouncing with glee.
as we speak.
That's it. The end of another show.
What an amazing show today.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the Good Friday vibes.
I'm sad for the letter O, but more importantly, I'm happy for the bagel.
It's rivaled Bread Corp, man.
Yeah.
You can't get past that.
Yeah.
It's been another fun show, as always. And we will see you Friday, 11 till 12 next week.
As always.
What are you going to send us out with?
I'm just looking at like when I typed in simply, as I did a little behind the scenes here when I want to queue up the jingles. I type right in simply the best, and we've got all our jingles queued up. But then it's also everything else on the system with simple in the title. And the thing that sprung out to me is What's New Scooby-Doo by Simple Plan is on there. So I'm going to send you out to the tunes of Simple Plan, What's New Scooby-Doo.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.